Hello and welcome back to We Talk Talent, our highly popular interview series where we uncover stories, strategies, and solutions driving the future of talent, HR innovations, and leadership. I'm Abhik Roy, Associate Content and Community from ETHRWorld, and it's my pleasure to introduce the guest of our today's episode, Ashu Sawhney, Head HR from DCB Bank. Hi Ashu, we are so glad to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Abhik, and I'm really honored and privileged to be here on this platform. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, and it's equally our honor to have you here at We Talk Talent. So I'll just start with my first question. Employee expectations today don't seem like what they used to be, maybe 5 years ago. Things have changed so much. What stands out to you as most significant changes? And, how is your organization adapting to meet these evolving needs of the workforce?
Yeah. So some of the changes which I could see from my experience, so there have been shifts, right? So shifts, I'll talk about three, four shifts which have happened. Like starting from stability and compensation. Okay, so to that it is moving on to well-being, flexibility, and purpose. What is the purpose, right? Second one I take is culture. Now culture is more about, now is about mental health, opportunities, learning, how much learning opportunities are there, and balance in terms of work life balance. Okay. Third thing which I want, I think something is about lower threshold. See where some of these things are coming, but at the same time, acceptance to critical feedback. Okay. That I feel somewhere is moving in that direction, that it is difficult to accept. Um, Fourth thing I feel is that higher need. Now, higher need in terms of validation, right? We are in the world of social media and all that. That validation is becoming so important and is becoming a part of our life, right? Validation, recognition. So these are some of the things which I feel. Also, the learning style is somewhere I feel that that also is moving in terms of like we want quick learning, bite-sized learning, and in terms of how quickly whatever we are getting, we should be able to retain. So those are some of the things which have shifted according to me. How we are adopting is because obviously we also have to look at how things are outside. So what we have done, we have ensured that there are policies with regard to wellness, flexibility, embedding in our policies all these areas. That is something which we have done. Other thing is which is about creating platforms, right? So creating platforms in terms of employee voice, where they are able to, at any given point in time, they can voice their opinions, or they can voice whatever if they have any grievances. So that is something which we have created. Tech platforms in terms of something which is like digitally agile and something which is core to the organization. So these are some of the things which we are taken care of.
Great.
That's how we have adopted.
That's a wonderful response. You're talking about how the expectation has shifted to employee well-being, and that's my
Yeah.
it was the next question. Banking sector particularly, it's a very high pressure environment. How do you
Yeah.
foster a culture, that balances performance with employee well-being as well as work-life integration?
Yeah, good question. Abhik, what I feel is that, as I was telling you, that we have embedded some of these policies in our uh, with regard to well-being and flexibility. At the same time, we have created programs. Like one of the programs, if I can just talk about, is we call it Firebolts. So Firebolts is a program where how you support new joinees, through budding programs. How do you ensure that their journey in the organization is smooth? Then there is path breakers. Path breakers is more about in terms of like senior person would be mentoring junior person in terms of achieving their goals. So these are some of the programs which we have which we have still in our overall process per se. Second area which I want to talk about is goals. Now, goal sheet, in today's competitive world. So what we have done for new joiners, we have kept staggered goals, because immediately if you are expecting, though, even though you hire from outside a lateral resource, but still, getting into culture of the organization, how things work in terms of process and all that. So what we've done initially, for some time we've kept their goals staggered, which are lower than the guy who's already working with you, little bit lower, right? So that also will help them in terms of getting into the organization. Other thing what we have done is that employee assistance program, which is there for, I think, most of the organizations. But what I want to mention is that we had this tie up in the year 2015 sometime, which was before COVID. Now, if you see, most of the organizations had these tie-ups after COVID and all that, but we were very clear that this is an area where we want to provide, we care about well-being of our employees, and not only our employees but also their family members, so they also can take advantage of this program, which is through in person, online, so as per the convenience of the counselor as well as the employee. So this is something which we have done. Also, in terms of engagements with regard to health carnivals, we're getting doctors, organizing webinars. These are small things, but it matters a lot. And in our, day-to-day life, where do you get time to look after yourself? So some of these programs really help. What we can do is, in terms of, you know, through AI, or I mean, for that matter, if we look at, then it is more in terms of uh, embedding the systems by doing predictive analysis where the employees are not engaged. How do you ensure? So those are some of the areas which one can look at, right?
Well, that sounds very holistic. And thank you. And the last point you talked about, AI and predictive analytics. That's where that's a great segue for my next question. Technology has really changed how organizations engage with employees now. So I just want to understand from you how you leveraging AI analytics and other these emerging technologies to reshape the employee experience, and also if you could share some tangible outcomes that you have observed that shows that AI does make an impact.
Yeah. So we believe in real time and giving personalized employee experience. Now, at various stages, we also reach out to employees to get their feedbacks, right? And at various milestones, it could be after promotion, after appraisal, and after completing year or so, or number of years. Based on that, we reach out to our employees in terms of apart from other channels which are already available to employees in terms of responding for their grievances and all. But this is something where we reach out and want to understand from them that, okay, what is that which we can help. So all this is done through AI analytics and all. And also, in terms of, there's a predictive analytics which we look at, where we also see in terms of where our engagement is not high. I'm very happy to share that we could get that there are some employees who are disengaged, and there could be early warning signal we need to look at. So there has been a retention rate of 78% so far, which we looked at from early warning signals which we could get. So that is something which is really, and what it helps us is drive us to focus on engagement through all these setups which are there in place. Also, in terms of, as I was talking about, identifying early warning signals, right, feedback signs which we get through the process. So this is something which we look at. uh, Also, what we have done, we have moved to L1 queries, like basic queries that gets generated through the system, the whatever employees give us feedback, and that is taken care by the system. So through that process also, so far, though we just implemented it last year, we've been able to save some 100 days of manpower. So that is something which is on the go, and the system itself is taking care of.
Great. So now, I want to, talk about this common dilemma that many organizations wrestle with: build versus buy-in. I
Yeah.
want to know what's your take on this entire debate, build or buy? And if you could also share some key workforce planning strategies, that you are implementing at the workplace.
Yeah. So our workforce is, how I look at is divided into three areas. Okay. So one is the frontline, where they are going to the customer and meeting, getting accounts, and or lending in terms of lending per se, uh, offering loans. So that group is frontline staff which we have is is something which is replaceable. It's like uh, replaceable in the sense, I don't want to sound it like that, but in terms of that is something which you can buy from the market also, which you will be able to get. Okay, that is at the junior most level where you have market availability of such people and you would be able to get as because of high churn, that is something which you need to look at. Another area for us is mid level. Those are supervisors, those are connectors for us. Now what we have done there have been two types of movement for us. One is vertical movement. Now for vertical movement we have amazing programs with regard to grow with us or budding programs, so where people learn in terms of their knowledge and they get practical experience uh, for the function which they are in, and if they successfully complete the program they move to the next level. So that is something which we keep doing, elevation within. That's something which we have. Another area is horizontal movement. Now some of these guys may want to move to another unit, or they may have their aspiration to move to some other department. So what we have done, we have created signature programs. Okay, that is basically taking care of overall banking per se. So where it's a long 6-month program where employees go through the whole banking process, be it treasury, be it branch banking, be it in terms of advances. So all that area is being taken care in signature programs, and the employees who are able to come out of it successfully, top 5, top 10 employees, they are given an opportunity to move to the department of their choice, and as per the internal job process we have in place. So this is something which, that's how we are managing these supervisors. Now that was the second part. Now, coming to the third part, which is our leadership growth, right? So, what we have done is that we looked at, okay, in banking, it's very important to have knowledge retention and the processes which you have, the domain knowledge, which is really critical. So what we have done is that we identified employees who are high potential in terms of not only their performance but in potential wise also. So there's a program we have come up with, 45 under 45. So people under the age of 45, and number of people also for this group we have kept 45. So they've been given live projects, okay, which is like real time problems of the organization. Okay, and they've been given mentor and sponsor. Now through that they have to deliver projects. There are timelines defined, 3 months, 6 months, and our MD and CEO himself sits in those evaluations and giving feedback. And there are mentors, sponsors. Mentors, sponsor are all senior level people. They help the this person to they guide them through the process. So this is something which is really unique and really something which we are looking forward to for the next set of leaders which we want to have in the organization. So this is how we are addressing, the overall build versus buy situation.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. So now my one last question for you is, if you look at the broader industry, what do you see as the, couple of key top HR challenges right now that banking sector faces? And, what would be your advice to the leaders on how to tackle those challenges?
Yeah. So war for talent is there through so many years. When I started my career, since then we keep hearing war for talent, which is still there, right? And ours is a traditionally heavy process. Need to follow the process, that kind of industry. So inflection of fintech, quick, digitally agile. So those are some of the things which we need to cope up with. Employee churn, which I was talking about, because in banking, retention of knowledge is so critical, right? If people leave, then how do you ensure that there is continuity? So that is something which is there. In terms of managing people demand, in terms of balancing the retention at the same time, You have to look at your employee well-being also. So if you talk about in terms of what I would like to give advice or suggestion to my folks, industry leaders, I feel that people strategy should be looked at as business strategy. It's no more that business strategy is separate from people strategy. Gone are those days, because people are important part of your overall strategy per se, right? That is one. Investing in continuous learning, I mean, that is so critical. Though I understand, people have less patience, they want to quickly, and we want them to retain the knowledge also. But that is something which I would really emphasize on. Third area which I feel is that how do you create inclusive culture? Okay, diverse opinions or diverse views. How do you ensure that those are taken care and employees feel being valued, for that they are able to voice out their opinions and all. Prioritizing well-being as much as the performance in today's world, I feel that is something which we need to look at. So if we keep all these things in mind, I think we'll be able to build workplaces which are ready for future. And of course, the challenges will keep coming. But how do we navigate with navigate disruptions with resilience? That is something these things will help
Great. And
according
I
to me.
think that line, people strategy is the business strategy now. I think that truly captures the essence of what's happening today in the world of work. That's a great insight to share. Thank you for that. So thank you, Ashu, for joining us on We Talk Talent. It was a pleasure having you.